So I just started recording. Literally been recording for the last 20 minutes. And then just realised I haven't actually started recording the capture. So welcome to the channel. We just joined us mid-qualifying. I've ran quite a low downforce setup to hit a 217.8. And then I'm just trying to run a slightly higher downforce setup to give me a little bit more confidence and hopefully get closer to the top of that grid. So here we go with a lap. Welcome to the channel. So already on the back foot, not a very good turn in for turn one. I think we'll do another lap. So obviously losing out a little bit on this section, maybe a tenth. Surprising. It's all these sections where I'm losing the lap time. Nearly losing 2 tenths down there. Definitely going to have to run, I think, a lower rear wing. Just feels like it's got no pulling power at all down here. I think that says it all, really. I'm trying to push so hard I'm trying to push harder with less downforce to try and catch up because I'm running more downforce. The drag's killing me so much. So a 30-minute session, 60 litres of fuel. Obviously I'm going to put a little bit more in because I really don't know at this stage. Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to run. It's been a weird video, I think, so far. So I'm going to load that. That's what I ran. Let me put that fuel in again. 62 litres, let's go for that. 1 litre of fuel in the pit stop. I'm going to put current tyre pressures in. We've not done a recce into the pits or anything. Fast Fanatical, the McLaren is definitely quicker. Look at all the McLarens. I've got this sea of McLarens around me, and I'm almost the only Ferrari at the front of the grid. So what does that tell you about the McLaren? 18 cars on the grid. Very hard to get that similar pace out of the other cars, I guess. Let's just look over the setup again. Apologies for how this video's come together, it really is. I'll try and do an introduction again, but yeah, welcome to the channel, welcome to the video, welcome to another Assetto Corsa race here at Spa on the XCL servers. It's Wednesday night, it's 9 PM or 9:30 now, just as the race is about to start. That's the setup I'm going to be running. I believe it's going to be one stop, and I'm probably going to do this stop really early just because of where I am. I'm just going to take the first round of pit stops, probably end at lap 1 even. Yeah, I just think I need to run my own race, and the only way I can really do that, definitely not going to be at the front of the grid, so it's going to be a battle in the middle. Definitely pit stop, first round of pit stops, straight in the pit. I've got my trusty little light that I'm going to use just to shine on my keyboard constantly, because my keyboard does light up, but sometimes it goes into like a sleep mode. I'm just going to pin that on here. Obviously I've got my fan running, so I do apologise if you can hear that. Currently filming on my new iPhone, so hopefully the picture quality is much better. I just hope I can bring this video together and we actually get a decent race. Obviously I've had a few races that have gone awry, some that really do work out well, so I need to be more confident on my start finish straight. I'm just going to come straight to the race, I think. Happy with the setup, 62 litres of fuel in. We're going to put 1 litre of fuel in at the stop. Everything's equal, brake ducts are open, 31 degrees. Yeah, could just have a quick look at the qualifying timetable. So it's that first sector really that's killing it. Final sector about the same. Juveline and actually kills that bus stop chicane. Or again, it's just the flat out power sections really. So gonna not change tyres in the stop, 3.2 second stop. Obviously these are the other guys around me. 34, plenty of time, long drive around the circuit to try and get the tyres nice and warm. I'm sure last time out in the Ferrari warming the tyres, I actually needed to move the brake balance slightly forward. It seemed to really warm the rear tyres. Always a scary race coming through that Rouge first lap. the sea of McLarens. I really don't find weaving gets much temperature in the tyres. I just use the brake technique. It's just all about generating heat through the brakes. And obviously in the dashboard we've got really good telemetry telling us that the brakes, obviously the tyres, we've got 75 degrees in the front tyres, 77 at the rears. Got the PSIs slowly going up on the left hand side of the dashboard. There's loads of information inside the dash display. Just starting to see the brakes glowing into the yellow. They are quite wide, I've got them. I did find during the testing session I did earlier that they were getting pretty warm. So gradually getting into 25 psi. Obviously we're looking for 26 psi all round really. So as long as we're getting somewhere near that at the start of the race. Temperature in the tyres, really don't want to see on the right hand side of the dash, really don't want to see them higher than 100 degrees. So it's starting to reach 90 degrees. Just those rears need to get a little bit warmer. Loads of temperature. So just get them a little bit hotter. Give them a good heat cycle. As the treads come up to level, they used to be all about getting the tread levels, tread depth kind of level across the three segments of the tyre, the outer, middle and inner, but it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So struggling to get that temperature at the rears really. I think with the brake ducts being open it's just not holding temperature, so 27s at the front. Be kind of perfect if you started the race now really. So I'll just keep trying to get them hotter and hotter and then we can kind of ease off a little bit. .98 degrees, so I'll just kind of ease off a little bit there. Be about perfect. I can start applying a little bit more brake pedal as we get close around here. Keeping them in that good window. Pretty happy with how they've heated up.
Going double file.
So whether I'm a sitting duck down this back straight, definitely getting that pit stop done on this lap. Let's get ready to go. So welcome once again as I jump on board for this 30-minute race here at Spa. See them just cooling down a little bit, the tyres PSI is dropping. Definitely looking forward to watching this race back again. First time watching it back since yesterday evening. Just really managing the acceleration with the brake pedal now. So leaving it very late towards the line before we kick this race off. Making sure I'm back in my grid slot. Oh, really late. Just is he going to keep fully committed through Aru's? Just a little lift through Aru's. Probably could have kept that foot down. I'm actually catching that McLaren.
Car on the right. Always tentative into the first couple of laps. Jockeying for position. Dirtiest Drunk taking a little
Definitely
look
in the room there, mate.
on the right hand side. Very much looking in that rear view mirror. Fast Fanatical just up ahead, battling it out with Juvelainen very early on in the race. Everyone always trying to make positions in that first lap. Thankfully everyone seems to have come through Eau Rouge as well. No real incidents at the rear of the pack. Always nice to see. So covering off the inside line then, and Dirtiest Drunk's really stuck it up the inside. Really left me
Put me in a
out.
horrible position coming on the inside there.
Left me out on the marbles. Really, I didn't have any grip at all. Very tentative through there under acceleration as well, trying to drop the traction control. Or maybe not even playing with the traction control this early on.
See that McLaren just coming up the rear.
Definitely got some pace down the straights, the McLarens. Just gaining on. Oh. Taking a little hit at the rear and then a little tap coming into the pits.
That was a mess.
That was indeed very messy.
Sorry about that, Dirtiest Drunk. Just a little tap.
So Dirtiest Drunk has actually
A
teleported
tiny
as
bit
well.
of damage, but at least we're coming straight in.
Teleported into the pit, which is going to really add maybe
Didn't go particularly great.
2 minutes onto his pit stop if he's choosing to actually repair any damage. I'm guessing
Definitely quick down those straights, those McLarens.
Yeah, I'm guessing he just thought his race was done.
Really do hate this pit stop.
A very long pit stop.
I hope
indeed.
he's not jumped straight to the pit.
Unfortunately,
So
he
close
has.
to have just come in.
But I did
So
speak.
all the way down the bottom then.
Did speak to Dirtiest Drunk after the race, and he was definitely okay with the incident. Obviously, no one wants to be involved in an incident, but these things do happen. All the best intentions in the world. Just too far away from the pit stop.
That's a bad stop.
And then we'll see just behind if the other car gets a good stop.
God,
He's out at
Dirtiest
a
Drunk
similar
skipped
time.
as well.
Maybe took a tiny bit of damage. And then just not looking at the acceleration.
so that's the end of his race, I think.
Just coming out the pit. Full on the power and just in traction
Can't
control.
believe that.
Traction control 1. Just went all over the place.
Traction control.
Traction control really has done me no favours in the past. The number of races I've actually lost changing the traction
Crazy.
control back and forward.
Right, get your head down now.
I really do wish I could find a level of traction control
Definitely
that
not
allows
winning
me
this one.
to feel more confident on the accelerator. Maybe it's something I really need to work at with my own particular driving style, because it really does hinder acceleration, and the less traction control you can run, the more acceleration you've got off the corner. So everything to go now, even catching the guy in front.
Even the guy that was in the pit, I need to overtake him to win.
As Jay's mentioning there, 8 seconds ahead as well. So if we look at towards the end of the race, it cost us about 14 seconds for a little spin as we came out the pits, which is a huge margin. I'm sure I'll go through this during the race. Just the difference in track distance covered in 14 seconds is huge.
He's a long way off. Sabre. Just lost it coming out of the bloody pit. Don't want any track limit penalties.
Well, even if we just do a sort of a little experiment as we cross the line here.
320 is out, mine's 314, so 334, 14 seconds slower on my outlap.
So if we just look at the time in the top left corner, at 14 seconds, we should be right here, just at the exit to the pit. So next time round, we'll just see where the number 37 car is in relation as we come back through the start-finish straight.
So on the limit.
It really did feel so light there coming through in traction control 1. Through a Rouge. Very little grip. And you can see one of the biggest issues we've got is actual tyre pressure. The front right tyre really is struggling to get into the 26s. So we're getting loads of scrubbing at the front of the car.
Just doesn't feel like there's any grip at all. See, that front right tyre's not even in the 26s just yet.
Definitely something that is causing us issues during this race, but you can see we're catching the guy in front up to 6.2 seconds, so we're bringing that gap down lap by lap. I wanted to leave the details down in the bottom left corner of the MFD rather than having it on the traction control screen and whatnot. I thought I would just leave it so you can see who's around me during the race.
At least Saber's in a Ferrari as well.
One saving grace. So as we come round to the start-finish straight then, and we just see as we cross the start-finish line, if you imagine when we cross it, we should be the other side of the first corner really. Which is sort of going to give you an idea really.
He's a little bit slower.
We should definitely be well in front of Saber at this stage.
Definitely not lapping at the same pace as the guys at the front, so
definitely be interesting now I've got time during this commentary to actually see the guys coming across the start-finish straight.
Definitely felt a little bit less sideways coming through there.
What kind of lap times
Just not got the
in.
temperature in the tyres.
So as we look look down towards the start-finish straight, and 217.6 for Fast Fanatical, and a really nice low 218 for Juvelainen. I think as long as I was lapping in a low 218, maybe a 218.1, I could really forgive myself for not having the car set up for tonight's race. But being in the mid 218s, it really isn't quick enough, especially for other guys posting 217s. And obviously during the qualifying session to be doing a 217.1, being in the 218s is a huge distance. Obviously over a 14 lap race, for example, you're 14 seconds
lap.
away.
47 litres of fuel, 43 litres of fuel on.
So I certainly think closing out the front brake ducts would have solved the issue with the front tyres. Probably got them closer to where they needed to be. just closing it out to...
So I took 2 seconds out of him on that lap.
Closing it out to 2 on the front brake duct. Probably generated a little bit more heat, got us into the 90 degrees on the front tyres.
Dirtiest Drunk stayed in the pit.
Yeah, so
sorry,
Dirtiest
mate.
Drunk, that's ended his race. I'm sure he's not even in the pit at this stage, unless he's chosen to sit and watch the race.
Never intentional. Try and brake a little bit earlier here.
Obviously points are awarded on the XCL service for each race you take part in, so I guess even just staying in the pits, you will pick up some points. Or maybe it's the top 8 drivers. I'm sure everyone gets points within the XCL server. Maybe even one of the company founders could leave a little comment in the video if he's watched it at all, just letting us know what points are awarded and if they're awarded throughout the entire grid. But yeah, if you are on Xbox and you are looking to take part in some of these, I guess, better battles than if you were in...
It was amazing from one lap to the next. To be nearly a second down, half a second.
Open lobbies.
Where the hell have you lost all that performance?
There's definitely a good level of drivers, over 1,000 drivers now on XCL. Races run every single night of the week.
Slower.
We've got that hot lap session that runs throughout the entire week, so you can post your fastest lap. The special events page, obviously, been missing for a very long time within the game itself, so something to aim towards in the special events within XCL. Unfortunately, this isn't on PlayStation as well, so just the Xbox guys able to benefit from these XCL website. But yeah, one of the things I wanted to pick up on was Jay just mentioning then the performance drop-off on these laps whilst I'm behind Sabre. It really is hard to pinpoint where I'm losing so much performance from the car. Obviously the tyre pressures are a huge issue at the minute. See them dropping into the 25s, which really does reduce the level of grip. It's almost like either side of 25, if you're in the 25s or you're in the 27s, it does start to reduce that level of grip in 1.9. Really want to be in the sweet spot of like 26.5, 26.8. See Sabre getting a little bit out of control as well.
So a bit of time lost through there.
And this seemed to be the section that I'm losing so much time. Obviously got a really good run through here on my
Temperature in that
fastest
front
lap.
tyre is killing me.
Not particularly the temperature, but the tyre pressure is what Jay's talking about really. The tyre temperatures aren't too bad at 85, on that front right tyre 86. So it's getting temperature through the rear portion of the circuit. But starting out the lap, obviously we've got this long back straight or high speed section, which is obviously cooling the brakes, cooling the tyres, and obviously it drops us into that 25 window for the start portion of the lap. Sabre definitely allowing me to just squeeze up the inside there, not wanting any confrontation. But thanks again, mate.
I think he's gentlemanly let me through there, to be fair. Thank you, mate.
I guess it's nice to see in these scenarios, because obviously we're lapping at very different paces, and if you look at the lap time as you cross the line, it is a good indication as to whether you are really battling with the car behind. Obviously there was nearly 3 seconds lap difference between our last laps there. Yeah, I might have been in contention with this race had I not had that huge mistake coming out of the pits. And actually, yeah, just getting the car set up better, to be fair. I can only blame myself.
On the limit.
Never nice to drive a car that's so on the limit. And again, without spending time testing, this is what all the testing pays off for, really. It's coming into a race with a level of confidence that allows you to push. And you don't feel like you're having to absolutely destroy the car to actually reach a good lap time. So if you enjoyed the race, please do like and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, leave a comment in the comment section. Always great to hear from other drivers playing the game, especially if you're on console.
Can't see why I was so slow at one point then. Surely it wasn't the fact that he was stealing some of the aero. That would be crazy.
Very hard to understand where I'm losing that lap time, and then obviously one lap in front and we're sort of hitting a better lap time. I really didn't think the aero was being distorted, I guess, by the car in front that much that it would affect, especially one of the previous laps, so I was nearly a second down. Just really did feel like there was no grip in the car at all.
Two drivers leaving the pits.
So you see them just on the way up the hill then, leaving the pits. Always good to see them as you come down there, because you know you've got just enough speed to get out.
Car on the right, clear on the right.
And one of the comments on XCL is everybody should be sticking to the pit exit line, the white line as you come out of the pit. You should be staying on the right hand side of that line as you exit the pits. I'm not sure if they've actually started employing a steward now to look at pit exits, just to make sure people are obeying the pit exit. Something that should be within the game, to be honest. So you can see 25.7 in that front right tyre, really is struggling. Even the rear right tyre, sorry, 26. Tyre pressures are all over the place. Just no grip through there at all. You see it's where the majority of lap time is getting lost. So down to 16 drivers then, 2 drivers left out. Obviously Dirty is drunk, no longer in the pits. Someone else obviously left as well.
Crazy how this car feels, it really does. Feels horrible. 1 minute there's grip, next minute there isn't. Tyre pressure, 1 minute, next minute there isn't.
So yeah, I think there's a lot to complain about with this setup, so I do apologise if it's something you've taken for a race. As much as I'm hitting a consistent 218, it really isn't the best setup put together. So definitely something I'll feature.
Another car leaving the pit.
Definitely something I'll feature in another race within the XCL community.
There's a car.
As a revisit to this setup.
Car on the right, clear on the right.
So Carlo the Mastos.
That's going to be hard to hold him behind.
Thankfully not as hard as I thought it was going to be honest. I was thinking Carlo was right up there at the top of the leaderboard during qualifying, but I do manage to actually keep him behind throughout the rest of this race. There's 9 minutes left to go. Obviously I think I'm leading the pack when it comes to cars that have completed their pit stops already. See the number 6 car probably coming in the pit there. Maybe not. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's carried on. But yeah, looking at the lap graphic, I'm kind of the lead car of the drivers that have done their pit stops.
No one else has pitted.
But you see the main lap, the race leader, definitely a long way ahead. Always so much traction control limiting through that corner as well. I don't think short shifting to second gear and being in first.
At least that's a good first sector, or first corner at least.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a benefit. Definitely just need to be running less rear wing, to be honest. I think when we look towards the end of the race at what other drivers are doing, obviously unfortunately I can't just jump on board with other drivers
On the edge of my seat.
during the race. Obviously through the commentaries, I know Dick Trickle does a commentary on the XCL channel. Swapping between the cars would have been very interesting throughout this race to see the sort of speeds that each car's getting during the race, stuff that you can discuss. I do wonder if you can see all that information during the race as a during the commentary. I don't think it would be accessible. I think if you jump in other cars, the tyre pressures and everything are always sort of hashed out. Funnily enough, I didn't pick up any track penalties during the race. Maybe because I'm running behind my fastest lap. I think that's sometimes an issue, or maybe I'm just really touching the boundaries of the circuit. So yeah, start of the lap always looks promising, the delta's always in the green, but as we get towards the end of each lap, just something with the tyres just goes off. No real issues through a rouge. Another driver in the pit then with a yellow, so maybe he's had a bit of a spin somewhere. And another driver leaves the lobby. So obviously managing to stay ahead then of Carlo. 3.5 seconds now. So just looking at the delta then, a huge portion just lost there instantly, 2/10 on the exit of the corner. I really did think the audio was going to be horrible to us then. 4 minutes left of the race. I don't know what goes wrong with the capture.
It's really starting to just short shift now. Loads of people in the pits. This is going to be a mad dash.
But yeah, the audio glitching doesn't come through during the race itself. Never an issue at all, but just on the capture seems to get an audio blip. I've got a really nice Samsung SSD that I capture all my content
Oh,
on.
everyone's piling out the pits now, way ahead.
But I do like the build-up of dirt on the windscreen as well. I wish you could just actually use the windscreen wiper and just clear that. It'd be great if you could just squirt a little bit of something on the windscreen wiper. That would be a
Long way
touch.
ahead.
But graphically, I really do love Assetto Corsa Competizione. I spent a tiny bit of time in Forza Motorsport, which I really did think was going to be the pinnacle of graphics, and it really isn't. I cannot seem to get on with Forza Motorsport. Just doesn't feel like I'm driving.
Clearly a different
here.
race altogether, these McLarens.
There's just a huge level of grip through these corners, especially through Pouhon. It's a fantastic feeling through the wheel once you've sort of got back on the power.
Doesn't help when you come spinning out the pit though. 1, 2, 3,
So
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's where I should have been. That's how much further ahead I've been.
Probably have
14
been-
seconds.
probably have been just in front of the 688 car, to be honest.
It's a huge distance really on the racetrack from making that small error coming out the pits.
I guess
So the race leader in the pit.
I guess a better example would be as we come across the start-finish line really now.
1 minute to go.
It really would be interesting to see. So as you come across this start-finish line, we would have just been round the corner. So they've literally just been behind the 21 car. Maybe we'd have jumped the 56 car out the pit. Oh, we definitely would have jumped the 56 car out the pit. But looking at the graphics now, I would be right behind the leaders.
A long way ahead. So far ahead.
That was quite interesting to watch back, to be honest.
There's a car accident pit lane.
Not as far away as I thought I was going to be looking at that graphic.
Excuse me. That's how much we're on the edge of grip.
Very nearly lost it. It's certainly been an interesting race. Certainly make me think more about tyre pressures.
Give it all you can.
I think the track temperature was maybe 3 degrees difference. But definitely better to be running more pressure. I did actually have a race at Brands Hatch the other day where I closed out the brake ducts and it was a huge mistake, but I managed to just continue the race with my tyre pressures into the 28s, nearly 29s. The brakes getting so hot as well, but I was still lapping in the 123s. So maybe something to think about. More pressure is always better than less.
Eden has finished the race.
So across the line then, Fast Fanatical taking P1, Juvelainen in P2, and I think Stefanica in P3. Not too far away considering the huge spin we had exiting the pits.
Good job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
A Briggle through light flash and a little donut there from Juvelainen.
Well done. Let's just return to that replay.
Always check how much fuel was left in the
Save
car.
replay. I'll save the highlights.
But thanks for watching everyone as well. Much appreciate you returning to the channel.
Carry on driving. We can see we've got 9 litres of fuel still left in the car then.
Always things to do after the race.
So, let's have a look at that timetable. Fastest lap. 2:17.15. Pretty much 2:17.15s throughout. 2:17.5. 2:17. Still some really fast laps there. 2:17s. Not any of mine were in the 2:17s. So let's just have a quick see if we can see. 2:18, 2:18, 2:18, 2:18, 2:19. So still a long way to go to get anywhere near that kind of lap times. So for a 30-minute session, we could definitely take out 7 litres of fuel. Quickly have a look at the tyres. Light graining on the front tyres. Lots of difference across the tread at the rear. Could probably lose a bit of rear tread, rear camber. So just save. Yeah, we'll save that over there. 34 Celsius, so obviously definitely cooled down. I do apologise again to Dirty Strunk. I might just quickly send him a quick message. Oh, I can't message him. He must have left the lobby. So I wonder if we could just quickly look at the replay then.
Green light, show them
Oh
what you
no.
got.
Quit, yes. So we'll just quickly come out of this. Not the best of races, but still lessons learned. Obviously, I need to work on the Spa setup, that's for sure. But let's have a quick look at the replay. Hopefully we can jump on board with other drivers. Which is definitely what I want to do. So if we see the number 71 car. I'd love to just see toggle hood, just how much speed is getting down this back straight. So let's come on board with Juvelainen. 270 already, 274, 5, 275 down the back straight. ABS 2, engine map 1, traction control 3, loads of rear bias on the brake pedal 47. Definitely get a bit of correction on the oversteer. But let's just check that again. We can't see who's who, but I know number 13's me, so let's go back. We can just rewind it a bit. We're going to have to fast forward it. So again, if we just look here, he's hitting 274 down this back straight. So I'm hitting 272. So let's just see. So as we come up and over the hill, let's see these marshals here, 260 at the marshals. And let's go back to Uvalainen, who was car 71. And I think we can go all the way back to the beginning. These guys down this long back straight. And at these marshals, 266, so it's nearly 6 kilometres of an hour already. So much quicker down the back straight. Really interesting to see how other people are driving the circuit, how much speed they're able to carry. So these are things you need to think about when you're setting the car up. Obviously we need to be running a lot less rear wing, find the grip from somewhere. It's all about straight line speed here at Spa. 4th gear through P1. Really early shift. Just trying not to get too much traction on the exit. Obviously he's using traction control 3, so it's really low down in his rev range as he accelerates off the corner. Be interesting to see how fast Fanatical's driving this lap. We'll jump on board Fast Fanatical. Again, traction control 2. See if he's short shifting as well. All over the curb. Using a very low rear brake balance as well, 48.4. Quite progressive with his acceleration though. Straight on traction control 2. Still flat out. Definitely slower than Uvalainen. Just touching the throttle. Very happy at the rear of the car. Definitely working for this lap. Uvalainen's really is all over him. He's down to 3rd, whereas Uvalainen's was staying in 4th and short shifting. Gonna run wide here. Yeah, very different driving styles. Really early shifts. See if there's definitely someone else driving here. engine map 2. Everyone seems to be happy with engine map 2 in the McLarens. 302. Very similar brake balances. Apart from whoever this one is, Galvarider, much higher brake balance. Back on board with Rat. So I think we've seen enough of my laps. So let's just come back to the camera view. So well done, Fast Fanatical, Juvelainen, Stefanica picking up the podiums. Apologies once again, today he's drunk. I'm sure he'll understand. I'll send him a message after this. Yeah, I can only apologise, mate. But yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please smash that subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a like, let me know your thoughts on the game, where things progress. Obviously we've got next year the Green Mile coming, the Nordschleife. Whether that'll bring any good racing, I've got no idea, but the tracks on Assetto Corsa Competizione are always something special, if you ask me. I always enjoyed driving them. Even any of the circuits I've hated in other racing games, I always enjoy them in Assetto Corsa Competizione. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Obviously the Ferrari setup needs a little bit more work, a little bit more tinkering to get us into those 217s. But I don't doubt that it's capable of doing a 217. Very low 218.1, so just a little bit more work needed, a little bit more confidence in the setup. Like I said, I've not spent very long doing this setup at all this evening, so I guess it fared well. Just a silly mistake coming out of the pits, spinning the car, so I guess if you didn't make such silly errors, a better finishing position was definitely on. But thanks for watching, and as always, ciao for now.